Good afternoon, this is Nicholas from Gandora Gaming, and this is a discussion video on the OCG ban list. Now, I know that I'm a little late to the party. The OCG ban list was revealed yesterday, and of course, we already had our ban list, so what's the big deal here? Well, I kind of want to talk about a few cards they changed off the ban list and see if it's okay if we did that in the TCG. The reason for that is because we just received our ban list, and usually what I do is that if they give us the OCG ban list, that gives us preludes to what the TCG ban list will do. But this time it did the other way, where the TCG got their ban list, and now the OCG got their ban list. So what I'm ready to do is I want to actually talk about some of the changes on the list and see how they'll impact the metagame if we did that to the TCG. So let's get straight into this. So first things first, I'm not going to talk about the major hits in their ban list because, to be honest, they should have been hit a long time ago. Chaos Dragon, the Synchro, should have been banned. I don't know why the hell they had that thing still legal. As much as I'm a huge Punk player, this card was always broken, and I'm glad it's gone, honestly, for them. Rongo Midiat, same thing. I don't have no fucking idea how they let Rongo stay legal as long as it did. We banned it like in 2018, 2019. You're telling me you guys kept it for another 5 years? You're ridiculous if you think that thing was ever fair. So I'm glad Rongo Midiat's gone. Other things that they have on the ban list, they finally really hit the sieges and the tier elements. They even hit it harder than we have in the TCG, which means hopefully, cross fingers, pray to God that tier elements is finally dead in the OCG because of all the hits and limits. But based on tier elements survival chances, who knows? Maybe it still lives in the OCG and they just have to ban every card like Dragon Ruler style. But I'm just glad that they finally learned their lesson and hit the Asijus, and we can go from there. Now, the big hits that I wanted to discuss are the hits that I bet everyone was like not that excited for. For example, Gigantic Diagram coming back to 2. Now, that is actually a huge consistency boom to True Dracos and technically dinosaurs. And I kind of want to discuss that because a lot of people in the TCG still have PTSD from True Draco as an archetype, and they think they don't want that deck ever coming back into the format. And to some extent, I can agree with that. True Draco is a very unfun floodgate archetype. It's very set 5 back row, tribute summon, set on Monarch's Erupt plus skill drain plus ratio plus you die now. And it's a very, very unfun game. And not to mention, all the True Draco monsters are pretty powerful. But if I had to unban something on the ban list that had to do with True Draco, I think their field spell is probably the most fairest card. If you think about it, I don't think they can get Card Demise back. I think that card is still too insane, even though it was probably one of the only decks that can actually play it. That deck, and of course, I guess Fool and Reese could technically play it, but they have to have cards in hand, so discard their whole hand, which isn't good for them because they need to resummon the birds, so that's actually not that good for them. Honestly, I don't know what other decks in the modern day would play Card Demise. It locks you out of no special summoning. So I guess maybe like Monarchs or like Berry Statue Control could play it, but that's all I can really think of. Most trap decks, unless you're like really ooga booga like Guru, they special summon. So I really don't see Card Demise being as big as a problem as it is. But I definitely see it's one of the most powerful draw spells for those types of strategies, the Ooga Booga ones. So I see why it was hit the 1, especially since True Draco at the time was probably one of the strongest decks in the format. So I can absolutely understand why they hit that card. As for Dragon Diagram, I don't think it's going to boost dinosaurs or True Dracos that highly into the meta. Honestly, True Draco, I feel like as powerful as it would be if they had 3 field spell, which I've been preaching for, honestly, for a while now, if you watch my Banlist predictions, I honestly think it wouldn't do that big of a deal. True Draco, even if it has more consistency, is still outclassed, I feel like, by Labyrinth or the modern trap decks, just because they have more to them. And yes, True Draco will have the ability to sit on more powerful floodgates again, they'll be more consistent, but At the same time, True Draco still has to have the support, and probably the last 5 to 6 years, and that's a huge thing for an archetype. Yes, we have the new Draconic Pendulum dudes, which are technically True Draco support, but not really True Draco support. They're Draco Pal support. But honestly, I feel like Draconic Diary can come back to 3, like a Leave Masterpiece band, and I think the deck will be fine. I honestly don't think it's as scary as everyone says it is. Now, another scary thing they do have taken off the list is Meow Meow. Meow Meow coming to 1, the Prank Kids card. This card was a horrifying thing in the TCG. Prank Kids Adventure was one of the best decks for a solid while. Like, it was like probably one of the best decks from like October to like May of the next year. It was a very, very scary deck. It was very powerful. It was very annoying and recursive and unfair, and I don't know if it's okay to come back. A lot of my friends in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Or my locals don't want it to come back, but others say it's fine. I'm kind of in the mixed road. When Prank Kids was the best deck, or at least in the format, I wasn't a huge fan of the deck. I tried playing it. It was cool. It was alright, but it was very basic. It did the same thing where you summon out a kid, you linked it off for Meow Meow, it triggered bringing one out, and then you just link climbed your way into a really, really strong board of setting a whole bunch of really, really powerful cards, and then flipping them to fusion summon on your opponent's turn to get a whole bunch of value that way. It's a very, very powerful engine, and I feel like the deck's kind of dead with Meow Meow being banned. The reason why I think Prank Kids should honestly get Meow Meow is because that's technically their second wave of support. So let me explain. So when Prank Kids first came out, they only had the 3 colors. It was only the green, the Lampseas, Flamseas, and Dropseas. And then we got Roxy's as the one support card in the next set. Because I know Roxy's came later. And then we got Meow Meow in a next set after that. And then the deck was history. That was it. That's all the support they ever got. So hitting Meow Meow kind of sucks, because that means their only support card they ever received was Roxy's, which doesn't sound that great in the whole grand scheme of things. I'm a big proponent on fleshing out older archetypes. This archetype is older. It is very colorful. It does a lot of things that other decks don't do. It's a Link Fusion deck. I can honestly see this deck getting some support, honestly, because Prank Kids was a well-played deck for a very long time. That's really all I have to say. I think Meow Meow coming to 1 would be a scary thing, but I don't know if Prank Kids was meta about, I think, 2 years ago, I think. If I remember correctly, I could be misremembering. It could be meta longer than that. It could have been, yeah, I think 2 years ago. Or it was last year. I don't remember when Prank Kids got hit. So, you could correct me in the comments if it got banned last year or the year before that. But I feel like Prank Kids would be fine now at like 1 Meow Meow. I feel like, yes, the setting up all the advantage, and yes, the fusion card allowing you to fusion summon on your opponent's turn to summon out this big ass Battle Butler to then blow up your board twice is very, very intimidating. I feel like the deck is still pretty fair, all things considering. And yes, it can play the Brave engine really well. And yes, it plays like 20 hand traps. And it's going to be a very, very scary deck and format. I still feel like Unchained and other decks are better, in my personal opinion. I feel like Meow Meow is a really insane card, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll push Prank Kids back to be the best deck in the format. I've got Meow Meow about to 1, but I just don't think so. That's just what I want to see, and I just want to see it. If it's too bad, we ban like we did Snow. Again, I don't know. We'll just have to see from there. Another card I want to talk about is Orcust. I know we have Orcust, the level 4 guy at 3, But if they're re-unhitting the Orcus cards, who knows? Maybe we'll get Hardcore back. It's the only hit we have in the in the TCG, and honestly, this card should probably come back already. Orcus hasn't done anything in probably the last 2 to 3 years, and I would like to see Orcus come back. Now, don't get me wrong, it is a very unfound engine. You'll play it in a lot of different decks, from Punk to Fahrenheit to you name it, it makes it. But honestly, I think if they're bringing back the Orcus level 4, we could be seeing Orcus be getting Hardcore back. And I think that's really it when it comes to this list. Gazelle going to 3. I think that was just for us in the TCG. I'm trying to think of anything else that's on this list. I really can't think of anything. Maybe you all tell me in the comments, but that's really all I gotta say about this one. I hope you have a good one. Don't do anything stupid. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.